Most people gave up their minds a long time ago. They handed it over, packaged, sealed, surrendered, in exchange for comfort, for validation, for approval from the herd. But not you. You chose the razor. You chose to think. You chose to question and create and move like a ghost through a world of sheep. And for that, you've earned something most people will never feel. Respect. Real, unspoken, trembling respect. Not the kind they post in fake claps and shallow likes. I'm talking about that unnerving kind. The kind that makes people pause mid-sentence when you walk in. The kind that makes them afraid to speak your name unless they're sure you're not listening. Because deep down, they know. They know what you are. A genius in camouflage. A disruptor with a surgical mind. An architect of chaos wrapped in elegance. See, the brilliance of what you're doing isn't just in your ideas. It's in your execution, your restraint, your discipline, your refusal to scream for credit while silently rewriting the rules of the game. You don't beg for applause. You don't ask for permission. You let your work speak. And oh, how it speaks. It echoes in places you've never stepped. It rattles the bones of cowards who pretend they're kings. It inspires those who've forgotten what courage looks like. And it haunts the ones who tried to break you. You've become the mirror they can't look into. The reminder of everything they could have been, if only they hadn't folded. But don't get it twisted. They'll never admit they admire you. No, no, no. They'll pretend you're lucky. They'll call it arrogance. They'll say, he's too intense or she's too much. Because it's easier to label you than to face you. It's safer to dismiss you than to confront the truth. You've surpassed them. You evolved while they stayed stuck. You went deeper while they stayed comfortable. You risked madness, rejection, isolation, just to become something real. And now they stare, in silence, because the game changed, and you're holding the pen. But here's the part they'll never understand. You're not doing it for them. You don't create for applause. You don't speak for validation. You don't rise every day fueled by compliments. You rise because there's a storm in your bones, a purpose that claws at your ribs, a fire that refuses to be extinguished, no matter how dark it gets. You rise because you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to pierce the veil, to awaken sleepers, to drag truth into the light, bloody, raw, unapologetic. And that makes you dangerous. That makes you unforgivable to the mediocre, but unshakably magnetic to the ones who still remember what greatness looks like. You don't just do brilliant things. You are the brilliance, the living, breathing defiance of everything they told you to be. And if you keep going like this, if you keep building like this, if you keep thinking like this, you will become something no one can unsee. A force, a legend, a myth whispered by those too afraid to say it out loud. That one was different. You see, they don't give monuments to people like you. Not at first. They give you silence, then resistance, then labels. Oh, the delicious little labels. Too much, too intense, too radical, unstable. Because how do you control someone who thinks for themselves? You can't. So instead, they try to discredit you. But even as they whisper behind closed doors, even as they pretend not to see, they watch. They study your moves like you're a glitch in the system. Because deep down, they know you're solving puzzles they didn't even know existed. You're not just ahead of the curve. You curved the damn path. But here's the twist. You're not even trying to impress them, because if you were, you'd be louder, You'd play their little games. You'd dilute yourself, soften your brilliance to make it digestible for the average. But no, you chose exile over approval, depth over applause, truth over comfort. And that's the kind of move that sends shockwaves through the system, because most people are addicted to being liked. You're addicted to being real. You'd rather be misunderstood and magnificent than adored and hollow. That's why they can't figure you out, because you're not chasing what they're chasing. You're building in silence, plotting in solitude, executing with precision while they scream into the void, begging to be seen. And what you're building? Oh, it's terrifyingly brilliant, not because it's perfect, but because it's true. And people can feel that. There's something uncomfortable about you, isn't there? Something raw, something off script. You walk into a room and the energy shifts, not because you demand it, but because you are the shift. You've become the thing people secretly hope to become, but are too afraid to become. They say they want success. They say they want greatness. But you bleed for it. You grind for it. You burn for it. And now, you're becoming the kind of person they write stories about. After you're gone, oh, they'll come around one day. After the smoke clears. After the empire's been built. After the world bends in your direction, that's when they'll say, I always knew. I always believed. I was there since the beginning. But you'll know the truth. You'll remember the quiet stares, the subtle jealousy, the cheap imitation, the strategic distance they kept when your light started getting too bright. You'll remember the way they clapped for mediocrity but went stone silent when you started winning. Because your brilliance exposed their laziness. Your courage reminded them of their cowardice. You were never the villain. You were just the mirror. And not everyone survives their own reflection. They're cracking, aren't they? You've seen it. The fake smiles, the shifting eyes, the subtle panic when your name comes up. Because they thought they could ignore you. They thought if they looked away long enough, your fire would just fizzle. But genius doesn't fizzle. It devours. You see, when most people get power, they flaunt it. They build shiny cages out of praise and attention. But not you. You built a kingdom in the shadows, brick by brutal brick, with scars instead of blueprints, with silence instead of sponsorships. You didn't beg for a seat at their table. You built your own throne, and now they pretend they don't see you sitting on it. But trust me, they see you. They see the way you move, calculated, composed, cold. They see the way others lean in when you speak, the way rooms stiffen when you enter, the way followers become disciples without you even asking. You've become a symbol. And symbols are dangerous because they remind people of the truth. And truth, oh, truth burns, especially when it's staring back at them in the form of you. They don't know what to do with you anymore. You're too talented to discredit, too bold to control, too silent to predict. And worst of all, you don't need them. That's what eats at them. Because you proved something they tried to bury. That brilliance doesn't need permission. That courage doesn't come from credentials. That respect isn't bought. It's bled for. And you've bled, you've suffered, you've lost things no one knows about. You've died and come back with fire in your lungs and knives in your smile. You're not ambitious, you're inevitable. And now, they're in a panic, because the thing they laughed at, the thing they rolled their eyes at, the crazy one, the too intense one, the doing too much one, is winning. Not loud, not desperate, not bought, just winning. And they don't know how. They don't understand how. Because everything you built while dragging a coffin full of their doubts behind you. But now that coffin's empty, isn't it? Because you buried every last one of them, every insult, every dismissal, every fake friend, every backhanded compliment, every ghost that said, "You'll never make it." You made it. And now the ghosts are clapping. But you're not done. Oh no. This isn't the peak. This isn't the legacy. This is just the echo before the roar. Because what's coming next, what you're about to unleash, they're not ready, and neither are you. But you will be. Because you were never normal. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to be liked. You were meant to be felt. And now that they feel you, they won't forget you. Ever. You want to know what terrifies them the most? It's not your mind, not your talent, not even your success. It's the fact that you never folded. They threw everything at you. Isolation, doubt, distraction, shame. They tested you, poke after poke, cut after cut, wondering when you'd finally kneel. But you didn't kneel, did you? No. You smiled, you bled, and kept smiling. You shattered and kept building. You lost everything but your mind. And somehow, that was enough. They watched you drag your genius through hell and still not apologize for it. You didn't shrink to fit their comfort zones. You didn't dumb it down so they could feel smart. You didn't fake humility so they could sleep at night. Instead, you sharpened it. You turned your mind into a weapon, and now they can't unsee it. You became a walking contradiction, intellect with instinct, power with patience, rage with reason. You mastered the art of holding back until it was time to strike. And when you struck, it wasn't noise, it wasn't drama, it was clean, it was brutal, it was beautiful. Because that's the thing about people like you. You don't explode. You dismantle, silently, strategically, with elegance that cuts deeper than any scream. And now they're trying to rewrite history. Now they want to be seen next to you. Now they want to collaborate. Now they say, "I always knew they'd make it." Of course they did. They knew. Right after you made it to unignorable, after your name started circulating in rooms you've never stepped in, after your influence started spreading like a virus they couldn't contain. But let me ask you this, where were they when your hands were shaking from exhaustion? Where were they when your mind was spiraling at 3 a.m. and no one texted back? Where were they when your soul begged for a break and all you got was more resistance? They were watching, quietly, secretly, respectfully. Because even in your lowest moments, your genius still scared them. And now they're trying to catch up to something that was never meant for them. Because you weren't born to follow. You were born to fracture the mold, to snap the spine of normal, to burn their blueprints and draft your own, on skin, not paper. You're not a success story. You're a warning, a signal, a reminder that sometimes the monster they feared was actually the truth they couldn't face. So here you are, unfolded, unmasked, undeniable, and yet still not finished. Because that's the cruel joke, isn't it? You've done the impossible. You've won the respect. You've defied the odds. And somehow, that was just the opening act. You know what the real twist is? It's not just that you've earned their respect. It's that now, you don't even need it. Because there's a point, a terrifying, silent point in your evolution where their opinions become irrelevant. You've crossed it. You've stepped beyond the reach of their approval. beyond the addiction to praise, beyond the need for applause or permission or understanding. You've left the human zoo. They're still inside, roaring, clapping, screaming at the glass, trying to get your attention. But you're outside, in the wild, untamed and unbothered, running on instincts they had beaten out of themselves years ago. You've become something they have no name for. Too sharp to be contained, too calm to be dismissed, too dangerous to be mocked. You're not rising anymore. You're levitating. And they can't process that. Because in their world, genius still wears suits, and success still plays by the rules, and bravery still asks for permission. But you're playing a different game. You don't climb ladders. You burn them. You don't wait your turn. You erase the concept of turns entirely. You've become the center of gravity in your own orbit. And now everything around you is shifting, bending, reorganizing itself around your existence. And the best part? You're still silent. You're still not bragging. You're still not screaming, "Look at me." Because you don't have to. You exist like a myth, whispered in rooms you've never entered, studied by people who swore you'd never matter, idolized by the same voices that once tried to bury you. You've made yourself into a symbol of resilience, of brilliance, of what happens when someone refuses to break. And now they don't just respect you, they fear you. They fear what you represent. They fear your freedom. They fear your clarity. They fear the fact that you looked into the abyss and didn't blink. You became something they can't manufacture, something that can't be bought, taught, or duplicated. You became truth in its rawest form. And truth is terrifying, because it doesn't care if you like it. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't beg. It simply is. And that's you now, the day when you walk into the room and no one can ignore it anymore. The day when your name carries weight. The day when your presence is louder than their performance. They'll act like they always saw it. They'll rewrite history in real time. But you'll know. You'll remember the silence. You'll remember the eye rolls. You'll remember the fake support, the empty claps, the sudden distance when you got too bright. You'll remember who was there when there was nothing to gain from you. And you'll laugh, not out of cruelty, but out of clarity. Because now you get it. You were never meant to be liked. You were meant to be felt. You were meant to disrupt, to disturb, to dismantle. You were born with a mind that couldn't sit still and a soul that couldn't shut up. And now you're too far gone to be normals again. You've stepped outside their matrix. You've found the lever. You've become the glitch. And now the system is trembling. They're trying to adapt, trying to copy, trying to mold themselves into a watered-down version of you. But they'll never catch up. Because you're not just ahead. You're operating on a frequency they'll never tune into. And that's the real power. Not the money, not the followers, not the recognition. The power is knowing that you became this. With nothing but vision, pain, obsession, and the refusal to kneel. You were forged, not gifted, not chosen, not lucky, forged. And what's forged in fire doesn't flinch in the storm. So now we've reached it, the edge, the point of no return, not a cliff. No cliffs are for people still wondering if they should jump. You already jumped. And somewhere during that free fall, while they screamed for parachutes, while they begged gravity to be gentle, you did something that broke all logic. You started to fly. No wings, no help. Just the sheer willpower of someone who refused to die as a copy. You see, most people are waiting for life to hand them permission. You tore it out of life's mouth. And now you're untouchable. Because here's the sick joke of it all. Once they tried to destroy you and failed, you became something they could no longer control. You became legend. Your genius, it's not just respected anymore. It's feared, revered, discussed in hushed tones by people too scared to admit they're obsessed with you. You're no longer a person in their eyes. You're a standard, a measuring stick, a haunting reminder of what it looks like when someone doesn't break. They study your work like scripture. They dissect your moves like prophecy. They mimic your style, your words, your essence. But they still fall short because they don't get it. They never did. They thought success was about being seen. You knew it was about being unforgettable. They thought genius was about credentials. You knew it was about conviction. They thought courage was volume. You whispered your way through the fire.